This video in particular is for Bob from RC Groups, Bob from Michigan, and perhaps this is also useful for other viewers that have bought the CB100 TUFF landing gear upgrade, which comes with the tail guard that is done in pieces to provide a tail suspension. You mentioned that you had broken the tail guard before, and I sent you a different type of coupler. The coupler is the tubing that goes between the upper part and the lower part here. The original tubing that I was providing with the kits was this one right here, and that one was a little bit harder durometer than the ones I'm supplying the kits with now. What I sent you was this blue one here. I purposely sent you the blue one because I wanted you to try the softer material. This is softer, much softer than the one I was supplying before. However, I have found yet a better coupler, and it's made from a different material, which is this one here that I'm showing here. And the reason why it's better is because it's in between the durometer of this softer material. This is very soft, perhaps too soft for a tail guard suspension, and this is the original one, which is the harder one. This one, I believe it's just right, and this is the one that I'm supplying with the current kits. As you can see, it's got much more flexibility to it. And so this is for Bob and anybody else that is interested in knowing a little more about the tail guards, how this is installed and why this is done, and how this is going to protect your CB100 tail section. This is the landing gear for the CB100, already assembled, and it's got the, as I mentioned in my video, in my RC Groups threads and posts, that this one comes with 4 spacers, aluminum spacers, and 4 mounting bolts. These are the miniature Mia microflight bolts that I use throughout many applications here for miniature helicopters. And so that's the setup for this landing gear. I've removed this landing gear from the CB100 because I've been fitting the CB100 with the Mia microflight MD500E canopy. Another gentleman in RC Groups in the E-Flight mSR thread mentioned that he likes this particular body without the clearer canopy, so I just wanted you to know that you need to request that via our email, because we normally don't supply these without the clear windshields. But very much, this is the way the CB100 looks and fits with the Mia MD500E body. It's a little dusty here. This is the bottom view. Hopefully this will come out with this little video camera. And the battery, I just installed the battery directly underneath the bottom here, and I attached the battery with a rubber band between these 2 points here, these end points, or these end tabs. You can barely see them here, but you have enough grab on these tabs that are part of the landing gear that is inserted into the bodies. You have enough grab to run a rubber band across these 2 ends, and that holds the battery in place. And just simply place that there and strap the battery around these 2 end points, or these 2 end tabs that are part of the landing gear, and that holds it in place. A very easy setup. You can simply connect and disconnect the battery through the bottom. And the way this came out, it comes out very close to the CG point, so there's no need to adjust the battery, because most of the equipment, as some of you might recall in my Walkera main thread in RC Groups, I mentioned that I had moved one of the ESCs for the tail rotor. I had moved it from the servo to the front, If you're going to do this particular installation with the Mia MD500E, you need to disassemble the tail on this particular one. On the MSR you don't need to do that, as I indicated in my other video, but on the for the CB100 you're going to need to disassemble the tail end. You're going to further have to disassemble the tail assembly here, the tail rotor assembly, and you're going to end up with basically that assembly there, that part. What you want to do then is you're going to have to rewire this doing scale bodies, and if you want the detail, if you want the precision in the look and realism, you're just going to have to do a little more work, and that's just the nature of doing a scale body, a true scale body for these very tiny helicopters. But if you take the time and you do it right, you'll be very, very happy with the results. These are very nice bodies that I'm producing for these helicopters. And so, getting back to the tail end, you're going to end up with that part there. It's already has the motor attached. We're not disassembling the motor, we're simply deattaching this part from the boom and also from the tail guard. And you're going to do is insert that part there. And I supply a what I call a plastic sleeve that fits over the tail boom. That sleeve, you can slide it in and it'll tighten up this section here, which will clamp the tail motor a little bit better. This is just to give you an idea of one option on how to install the tail end. You can run the wires through an opening here. You can drill a little hole there or put a slot. I'll be putting a slot under the boom so you can run the wires through the inside and make the connection at the front to the brushless ESC for the tail rotor. So basically that's how that's done. It's very simple. In the kits, the other parts, which is very much the same fin, the same vertical stabilizer fin, but without the molded cup that plugs into the MSR. And you also get the horizontal upper sections and the two small finlets that go on the sides of the horizontal one. So this is an assembly that you're going to have to make, and once that's assembled, you should end up with something like this setup here. This is another body. It's an earlier body that I did, but it's basically the same thing. You should end up with that, and you simply glue that part to this little step here that's part of the tail booms. Now the reason why I'm asking folks to request the MD500E body specifically for their particular helicopters, because the MSR is slightly shorter from axle to axle. I'm talking about from the rotor head to the tail rotor, from the main rotor axle to the tail rotor axle. It's slightly different distance than the one on the CB100, and therefore on the CB100 the bodies that I supplied are a little bit longer. The tail's a little bit longer for that one. For the MSR it's a little bit shorter. So you have to request it for the specific helicopter until I can get a PayPal tab set up on my website specifically for the CB100. But yes, you can order for either, or it'll work for either helicopter. Just keep in mind these small details that I'm trying to show in this video, and hopefully this camera will pick it up. Otherwise I'm gonna have to redo this with the other camera, but like I said, I'm testing this car keychain camera that I just got not too long ago.